You punched her in the stomach and held her down and grabbed a nearby Lysol can, and then you struck her multiple times on the head and face with the can, causing numerous injuries to her head and face.
He beat a woman in the face with a can of Lysol and then had the nerve to blame her for it. This is Robert Aguilar. He claims he found God in jail. He claims the alcohol made him do it. But Judge Boyd is holding the police report, and she knows the difference between a mistake and a monster. Watch what happens when a violent excuse meets a judge who knows the difference between a poor choice and a felony assault.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 006995, State of Texas versus Robert Aguilar. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
The attorney of record is Joanne De Hoyos, Joseph Staton standing in. Mr. Aguilar, will you give this court permission for me to do this in place of Ms. De Hoyos?
Sir.
All right. Did you understand you're charged with assault, family second offense? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 2 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand? Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation. They're suggesting no harmful or injurious contact with Gwen Taylor Abi, ABI,
I'd be Rashid.
Abi Rashed, RACHED, and the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states 1 and attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We ask that you follow the recommendation, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we have had contact with the complainant. They've made it clear they are not interested in supporting the district attorney's office in prosecution as a note to the court.
Okay, all right. So you want to explain to me why you're hitting her with the Lysol can?
I wasn't in the right state of mind, and
What does that mean?
we were both arguing, and that was just the closest thing to me, and I ended up just throwing it at her, and I just at the time I wasn't like I said, it wasn't in the right frame of mind. There was drinking involved, and we just
That's not what mentioned anywhere in the police report that there was drinking involved. What it says is she states you didn't live with her, that you all had broken up, that she was work and she called you over to help watch the children until she returned home from work. So I don't think she's drinking at her job unless her job is to drink at her job.
she had drinks after work, and then she came home.
No. And then it says when she came home, She thanked you. Thank you so much, Robert, for helping to look after the children that are your biological children. That's not in there. I'm just adding that as commentary. And advised that you could leave. She said, "Thank you, Robert, for helping to watch the children while I was at work. You may now leave." And it said that you did not want to leave. You wanted to fix the relationship. So she said, "Okay, fine. You can stay the night, but you're going to have to sleep in the living room." And she said that while she was sleeping in her room, you kept coming in and out of her room, pleading with her to fix the relationship. And she said the final time you came in the room, you were aggressive. You punched her in the stomach and held her down and grabbed a nearby Lysol can. And then you struck her multiple times on the head and face with the can, causing numerous injuries to her head and face. Robert stopped when she began to bleed heavily and apologized. "I'm sorry for hitting you several times over your head with this Lysol can." So that wasn't a throwing of a can. You were actively hitting her with the can. And it says Gwen had visible injury to her head. So why are you hitting her with a can of Lysol?
I know it's not in the report, but there, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. She was drinking before she came home.
And you probably were angry.
We were, no, I was drinking with her when she came home because she came home, she was already drunk, and then she wanted to drink more. So I agreed. I went to the store, bought more. We drank together. And yeah, you're right. I was trying to fix the relationship, and we both just started bringing up the past, and we started getting mad at each other. And basically, like, we started getting physical with each other, and like I said, I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and I just, I couldn't think straight because of the fact that, like I said, we were drunk, and I couldn't stop myself at the time. And now I just, ever since I came back to jail, I've picked up the Bible again, and I just been trying to repent as much as I can.
Why are you always picking up the Bible in the jail? Why don't you pick up the Bible if you're going to pick it up in the free world?
That's what I plan on doing. If I'm granted probation, I plan on going to attending a church and getting as much help as I can.
Well,
doing
I can tell you,
volunteer work, anything.
what I can tell you is this relationship is over. I'm not going to allow you to have contact with her. That's it. It's done. It's over with. If she wants to have contact with him, then she needs to come to the court and explain to the court why she wants contact with him. If they have children together, which it appears they do have children together, then that's where your grandparents, I'm assuming your mom is still alive.
Yeah,
All right. Do you have contact with your mother?
here and there, but it's kind of rocky.
Well, do you have anybody in your life where your relationship with them is not rocky?
Just my grandma.
All
That's
right.
it.
So contact with the children, if there's going to be some kind of custody exchange, that needs to be done through third parties. Because how old are your children?
My youngest just turned 2 in January, and my second oldest is gonna be 4 in October.
All right. And so are these the only children who were at the location?
My youngest, we have an open adoption with him, so he's with another family.
So the 2-year-old is with another.
The 2-year-old is with another family, so he wasn't there. My 3-year-old was, at the time he was asleep.
So you have okay, this report says you were over there to watch their children. So how many children?
Just the one.
Or why does it say their children? There has to be more than one child if they're using the term their children. Children is plural.
No, I have 2 children with her, and one of them, my youngest, he's in an open adoption. like
So
I said, with another
did that
family.
happen recently?
No, it happened when he was born.
All right, so let me explain to you. This is why I'm asking that question. It says that Gwen called you over to help watch over their children. It doesn't say to help watch over their child. So you're saying that when you went over to watch over children, it was really only one child? All right, and what was that child's age?
3, he's 3 right now, gonna be 4.
So, and here's my other question. Why, according to you, why are you and the mother of that child getting intoxicated when you have a 3-year-old who's 100% dependent on you all?
Like I said, just
And then fighting.
we weren't thinking, and we obviously weren't good for each other. So,
And why was your other child adopted out?
because at the time, I had just lost my job, and like basically we couldn't support him.
All right, and is she the mother of the child? So I'm assuming, and this is just me assuming, I'm assuming that you all know where children come from and how they're made. Why do y'all then keep doing this when you are having children that you know you can't afford to have? And you all just keep engaging in activities and not thinking of any consequences?
I honestly don't have an accurate answer for that. All I could say is just poor choices.
All right, court is gonna find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. How far did you go in school?
Just up to 10th grade,
All right, why did you drop out of school?
just poor decisions.
What did your parents say about that?
And they didn't really, I guess, go against it.
All right, the BIPP course, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm gonna order parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, then 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. And I'm going to order him to obtain his GED or either some sort of trade school certification. And then once that's done, 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be proof of employment. When's the last time you had employment and what did you do?
I was a bartender at Fat Tuesdays.
All right, you're not going to be allowed to be a bartender. You have an alcohol problem. So it's going to be proof of employment within 45 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider with minors or working in any industry or any restaurant where their sole source of income is alcohol, and you're not allowed to be a bartender. You understand? Field visits, 1 time per month for 6 months, and please have someone check on the child. And CPS compliance, if applicable. We can do a TAP evaluation. How long will it take to do a TAP evaluation in custody? All right, it's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody, follow recommendations. And I'm going to ask for 90 sober meetings and 90 days. And there's to be no contact with Gwen, Taylor, Abi Rashad, ABI, there's a space, RACHED. There's to be regular random UAs and regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And probation, please make sure they check for alcohol. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing in this court to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and I will make sure it is addressed. Do you understand? And your relationship with her is over. If there's an issue with the children, you need to communicate through a third party. You're not to have any contact with her. You are not to go to her house. If she shows up to your house, it would probably be in your best interest to call the police and say, hey, I have a no contact order with this person and they're showing up to my home. Because if you all do this thing, which sometimes people do, they decide, oh, we're going to live together. We're just not going to tell the court about it. You know what ends up happening? There ends up being an argument. Then the next thing you know, that person is calling the police. They're going to see that you have a no contact order in place. And that's going to be the end for you. You understand? All right, good luck. Thank you.
He tried to blame the booze. He tried to blame the victim. He even tried to hide behind the Bible. Judge Boyd stripped away every excuse. He walks away with probation, yes, but he also leaves with an affirmative finding of family violence. That is a permanent brand. It means federal gun bans and a record that screams abuser to anyone who looks him up. He wanted to save his reputation. He left with it in tatters. Now, I want to hear from you. The judge gave him probation and a treatment course for a man who pinned a woman down and beat her with a metal can. Is that mercy or is that a mistake? Let me know in the comments.